Alright, let's look at the week for, well, the end of September. This is, we're looking at Monday here, and we're just going to follow along and see what trades popped up for us. And right off the bat, this early 3:30ish, got a good ADX, nice two signals in alignment with the trend. Nice little trade. We get through our bond open, we get another signal. We wait till this thing turns up just a tad, and we run that right up to the pivot. That was a good one. Two good trades on Monday. Let's go look at Tuesday, 29th. Had a good trade, trigger right in here. Had downward ADX. I like to wait till that thing flattens out and actually moves up a bit. So we start seeing, we see this thing level off, and we see our ADX starting to move a little bit up. There was an entry here, but it's kind of far from the signal, so that's a little lower probability setup, even though we can see that it worked, but it definitely wasn't as good as the last two that we saw on Monday. Really wasn't anything else. I mean, we get two alignment signals here, but we've got a down sloping ADX, so I stay away from those. And we see that yeah, it was a trade, but you got to be quick on the draw, so I'm staying away from that. So Tuesday didn't have much. Let's see, Wednesday. Had this ADX crossing way back here, and we had a signal already. This was back to Tuesday afternoon going into Wednesday. Not really much on Wednesday as far as good solid signals. Later in the afternoon, this was at the end of the month, so there's some end of the month, games going on as well. But we see our ADX starts to go up. We've got alignment and signals just a few bars away from it. If I can get in the thing, 1, 2, 3 bars away, it just seems like you get further bars away from the signals, it's trickier and lower probability. But this was a good trade on that Wednesday afternoon, and ADX moving up, so we could have made some coin right there. Thursday, did I go too far? Yeah, Thursday morning early, I actually took this trade. ADX was bouncing and went up to this pivot, and then I was out for the rest of the day. But there was another good signal here. Now this is an interesting one, because we went below our line, which I like, and then we come back up and turn blue. So we already had our EMA cross. We get some choppiness in here, and that's why we get the downward ADX. But this signal here and the ADX moving up, you got a great run right there. So it's a little trickier setup, but you did have confluence with your two signals and the ADX moving up, which is the key. If this ADX would have stayed down below this line and you gotten this signal, I wouldn't have messed with that. But as this thing goes blue and you have the alignment, that's looking pretty good. PPO's moving up, you've got the squeeze moving up, so everything's kind of in your alignment, and the overall trend is up. So there you have it. So that was Thursday. Then we go into crazy Friday today. And I didn't take any trades today. I watched, but I did not take any. I'm going to tell you the only trade that, and it's a low probability trade, but you could put, this thing's flattened out going into the job numbers. This is a job number blowout. And actually there was an afternoon trade, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But so you could have put a buy right above the price action, right before the jobs number, and a sell right below it, and just try to let one of them take you out. It's tricky. I haven't back tested that yet, and I'm going to one day when I think about it again. I always think about it on these days, but it would have definitely worked today. You could have just put a buy on there with just a stop and just let it blow right through, and fill you and just take off. And you could put a sell, which is to stop, but no price target on either one, and just see if you could catch a big shoot up or shoot down. But the real risk there, of course, number one, you keep a tight stop on it. You could do a 2 or 3 tick stop, because if you go back and look, these things normally will shoot up pretty good or shoot down pretty good, but sometimes it'll shoot down and then shoot way up. If you got a tight stop, you can get out of it, and then the other side of it might take off for you. So something I'm going to back test, and something on all these big news days I always think about that little trade. So you could just put a buy with a 2 tick stop and a sell with a 2 tick stop with no profit target on either one, and just let them try to blow out. Today it would have worked like a dream. You'd have never gotten filled on the sell, and the buy would have just filled and shot up, whatever it did, 1.5 or 2 points. So would have been quite nice today. Later this afternoon, these bonds leak off, and the market gets, the indexes get a footing, and we get a signal in the afternoon. Now here's the rub on it. Your ADX is just leaking off. That is lower probability, but we'll see if it'll move for me. That you could have got a trade out of it. You could have waited right here at this point, so it fires and you get a couple 3 bars in, and you get a little pullback, and your ADX starts leveling off. You could have got it here. So it's not much, and it's kind of a low prob trade, but there was one. The trade though was the little, I don't know what we call that, our little straddle, future straddle with a tight stop. Anyway, that's the week of the end of September and the 1st of October. There were some good trades. I had several good trades this week and had a good profitable week, so hope you did too. Thanks a lot.